Honorable Chairperson, greetings to all the honorable colleagues from the different BRICS countries. When considering inter-parliamentary dialogue on climate change and sustainability, it enjoins us to reflect the need to mobilize BRICS parliaments to work together, to cooperate with each other, so that we can achieve the aims and objectives of the SDGs that we have signed. Now that the BRICS family represents over 41% of the world's population and includes major parliaments of the global south, there is no reason why we cannot succeed in our efforts. Climate change poses a significant threat to sustainability by disrupting ecosystems, impacting food security, water security, and exacerbating inequalities. Sustainable development aims to meet current needs without compromising the security of future generations. Climate change makes it harder to achieve this balance. Addressing climate change is therefore crucial for the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. The UN's Sustainable Development Goals are intrinsically linked to climate action, as climate change impacts many of these goals. In this regard, climate change can undermine progress on food security, water availability, and quality of human life. Climate change alters ecosystems by affecting species distribution, interactions, and the timing of global events, potentially leading to significant changes in biodiversity and ecosystems. In addition to the above, a warming planet can make it more difficult to grow food, since rising sea levels and changing precipitation patterns can disrupt water resources, impacting food security and livelihoods. It is worth noting that climate change disproportionately affects vulnerable populations, such as those in developing countries who may lack the resources to adapt to its impacts. Addressing climate change requires both mitigating its causes, such as reducing greenhouse gas emissions, and adapting to its effects by way of building resilience to climate hazards. Honorable Chairperson, sustainable development offers solutions to climate change by promoting renewable energy, energy efficiency, and circular economic models that reduce emissions and resource consumption. Moreover, policies addressing climate change can also contribute to other sustainability goals, such as improving urban planning and supporting rural development. Addressing the climate change impact requires BRICS nations to cooperate and vigorously implement agreements such as the Paris Agreement, which was adopted by 195 countries in 2015. Climate change remains a serious threat to national and global development and shared prosperity. Climate change poses particularly difficult challenges for policymakers to ensure that we achieve limiting global average temperature increase to 1.5 degrees centigrade. It demands actions across all sectors of the economy and across global society. To this end, climate change contemporary challenges demand to enforce leadership and a strong international response, as its diverse impact stands to harm economies, threaten nations, and imperil communities and ecosystems. Honorable Chairperson, climate change is also a dangerous political issue that has the potential to be used as an opportunistic agitator to unseat governments and determine the outcome of elections in democratic states. It has taken a central stage in both domestic and international politics and has become a major agenda item of many nations, regional organizations, multilateral bodies such as ours, and the United Nations. As such, action to address climate change requires coordination among multiple governments and non-governmental stakeholders. The extended framework over which climate change unfolds requires capability to plan, implement, and sustain credible commitment to increasing ambitious policies over multiple cycles. South Africa is actively addressing climate change through various strategies, including transitioning to renewable energy sources, implementing adaptation policies, and advocating for international support for a just transition. Our country is also developing policies like sectoral carbon budgets and a carbon tax to ensure emission reduction. South Africa also adopted the Climate Change Act, whose objective is to reduce the country's greenhouse gas emissions and mitigate and adapt to the effect of climate change already included in the global system. Honorable Chairperson, the way in which climate change affects us all depends on where we are located on the global map. In this regard, the hardest hit population groups are poor people such as the inhabitants of developing countries who are predominantly farmers, dependent on rainfall and basic mechanisms for tilling the land and earning a livelihood. Let us work together as BRICS member states to reduce the scourge of climate change effects. Without our commitment and cooperation, Honorable Chairperson, the impact of climate change and the attainment of the SDGs will remain a pipe dream. Honorable members, I would like to add and leave you with this thought. The human civilization is considered to be the most intelligent on this planet. Then we must ask ourselves, being so intelligent, why are we destroying the very natural resources that we require to sustain ourselves and to ensure that future generations have a planet on which they can live? One wise person once said that if we destroy all of the human civilization, nature will flourish. But if we destroy nature, human civilization will be destroyed. So with that thought, honorable members, I leave you so that we can engage further in how we can achieve our sustainable development goals. I thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson.